Page 157. Isn't that package for you?
No, it isn't.
For whom is that package?
It's for Mr. Jones.
For whom are those flowers?
They're for the secretary.
For whom is this telephone call?
It's for you.
For whom is this message?
It's for the manager.
For whom is this letter?
It's for her.
Page 158.
From whom is that package?
It's from Mr. Green.
From whom is this message?
It's from a salesman.
From whom is this telephone call?
It's from your friend.
From whom are these flowers?
They're from the secretary's husband.
From whom is this letter?
It's from him. Page 159.
Of whom is he proud?
He's proud of his mother.
Of whom are they afraid?
They're afraid of the principal.
To whom is he nice?
He's nice to his big brother.
Of whom is she tired?
She's tired of them.
To whom is she polite?
She's polite to the teacher. Page 160. Of whom is he ashamed?
He's ashamed of his little sister.
To whom are they rude?
They're rude to the janitor.
To whom is he mean?
He's mean to his little brother.
In whom is she interested?
She's interested in us.
To whom is she rude?
She's rude to her classmates.
Page 161.
Is this record yours? No, it isn't. Whose record is this? It's his. Whose car key is this? It's yours. Whose matches are these? They're yours. Whose wallet is this? It's his. Whose stereo is this? It's ours.
Page 162.
Whose cassette is that?
It's hers.
Whose door key is that? It's mine. Whose cigarettes are those? They're mine.
Whose purse is that? It's hers.
Whose TV is that?
It's theirs. Page 163.
The bank is here. The stop sign is here.
The boutique is here.
The bakery is here.
The church is here. Page 164.
The post office isn't here, it's there. The street light isn't here, it's there. The shoe store isn't here, it's there.
The supermarket isn't here, it's there. The theater isn't here, it's there. Page 165.
The farmhouse is here. The cabin is here. The plow is here. The pitchfork is here. The pig pen is here.
Page 166.
The stable isn't here, it's there. The windmill isn't here, it's there. The tractor isn't here, it's there. The hoe isn't here, it's there. The chicken coop isn't here, it's there.
Page 167.
The rabbit is here.
The mare is here.
The ewe is here.
The cow is here.
The cat is here.
Page 168.
The bunnies aren't here, they're there.
The colts aren't here. They're there.
The lambs aren't here, they're there.
The calves aren't here. They're there.
The kittens aren't here, they're there.
Page 169.
Isn't Mr. Dane here in the museum?
Yes, he is.
Isn't she here at the soda fountain?
Yes, she is.
Aren't they here in the elevator?
Yes, they are.
Isn't the patrol car here in the tunnel?
Yes, it is.
Isn't the bandstand here in the park?
Yes, it is. Page 170. Isn't Mr. Lee here in the museum?
No, he isn't. He's there at the art gallery. Isn't he here at the soda fountain?
No, he isn't. He's there at the coffee shop.
Isn't he here in the elevator?
No, he isn't. He's there on the escalator.
Isn't the fire truck here in the tunnel?
No, it isn't. It's there at the fire hydrant.
Isn't the auditorium here in the park?
No, it isn't. It's there, on the corner. Page 171.
Isn't the frying pan here in the cupboard?
Yes, it is.
Aren't the crackers here on the table?
Yes, they are.
Isn't the dish towel here in the drawer?
Yes, it is.
Aren't the glasses here on the shelf?
Yes, they are.
Isn't the detergent here in the cabinet?
Yes, it is. Page 172.
Isn't the pot here in the cupboard?
No, it isn't. It's there, on the stove.
Isn't the cheese here on the table?
No, it isn't. It's there, in the refrigerator.
Isn't the apron here in the drawer?
No, it isn't. It's there, on the hook.
Aren't the mugs here on the shelf?
No, they aren't. They're there in the sink.
Isn't the scouring powder here in the cabinet?
No, it isn't. It's there, in the closet. Pages 173 and 174.
January.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
February.
March,
April.
May,
June.
July,
August.
September,
October.
November.
December.
Page 175.
January is the first month of the year.
February is the second month of the year.
March is the third month of the year.
April is the fourth month of the year.
May is the fifth month of the year.
Page 176. June is the sixth month of the year.
July is the seventh month of the year.
August is the eighth month of the year.
September is the ninth month of the year.
October is the 10th month of the year. Page 177.
November is the 11th month of the year.
December is the 12th month of the year.
December 24th is Christmas Eve.
December 31st is New Year's Eve.
October 12th is Columbus Day.
Page 178.
November is the next to the last month of the year.
December is the last month of the year.
December 25th is Christmas Day.
January 1st is New Year's Day.
October 31st is Halloween.
Page 179.
Sunday is the first day of the week.
Monday is the second day of the week.
Tuesday is the third day of the week.
Wednesday is the fourth day of the week.
Thursday is the fifth day of the week.
Page 180.
Friday is the sixth day of the week.
Saturday is the seventh day of the week.
Saturday is the last day of the week.
Wednesday is a work day.
Sunday is a rest day.
Pages 181 and 182.
Sun,
Mercury,
Venus,
Earth,
Mars,
Jupiter,
Saturn,
Uranus,
Neptune,
Pluto. Page 183.
Is Jupiter the first planet in our solar system?
No, it isn't.
Which is the first planet in our solar system?
Mercury is the first planet in our solar system.
Which is the second planet?
Venus is the second planet.
Which is the third planet?
Earth is the third planet.
Which is the fourth planet?
Mars is the fourth planet.
Which is the fifth planet?
Jupiter is the fifth planet. Page 184. Which is the sixth planet?
Saturn is the sixth planet.
Which is the seventh planet?
Uranus is the seventh planet.
Which is the eighth planet?
Neptune is the eighth planet.
Which is the last planet?
Pluto is the last planet.
Which is our planet?
Earth is our planet. Module 7.
Page 185.
They're on a picnic.
There is a tablecloth on the ground.
There is food on the tablecloth.
There is a cooler beside the tablecloth.
There is a grill near the tablecloth.
Page 186.
There are 6 people at the picnic.
There are 3 ants on the tablecloth.
There are 2 bees near the food.
There are 10 bottles of beer in the cooler.
There are 2 bags of charcoal near the grill.
Page 187.
There's much tea in the teapot.
There's much sugar in the box.
There's much beer in the keg.
There's much coffee in the grinder.
There's much spaghetti in the pot.
Page 188.
There isn't much tea in the cup.
There's little tea in the cup.
There isn't much sugar in the sugar bowl.
There's little sugar in the sugar bowl.
There isn't much beer in the mug.
There's little beer in the mug.
There isn't much coffee in the cup.
There's little coffee in the cup.
There isn't much spaghetti on the plate.
There's little spaghetti on the plate. Page 189.
There are many workers at the construction site.
There are many machines near the workers.
There are many tools in the toolbox.
There are many nails on the board.
There are many bricks in the pile.
Page 190.
There aren't many seamstresses in the factory.
There are few seamstresses in the factory.
There aren't many sewing machines in the factory.
There are few sewing machines in the factory.
There aren't many spools of thread in the sewing box.
There are few spools of thread in the sewing box.
There aren't many pins in the pincushion.
There are few pins in the pincushion.
There aren't many safety pins in that package.
Page 191.
Are there 4 sticks of butter in a package?
Yes, there are.
Are there 2.2 pounds in a kilo?
Yes, there are.
Are there 4 quarts in a gallon?
Yes, there are.
Are there 3 feet in a yard?
Yes, there are.
Are there 1,000 meters in a kilometer?
Yes, there are. Page 192. Are there 12 eggs in a dozen?
Yes, there are.
Are there 16 ounces in a pound?
Yes, there are.
Are there 3.7 liters in a gallon?
Yes, there are.
Are there 12 inches in a foot?
Yes, there are.
Are there 100 centimeters in a meter?
Yes, there are.
Page 193.
There are some cans on the shelf.
There is some milk in the carton.
There are some eggs in the basket.
There is some ice cream in the freezer.
There are some apples in the bowl.
Page 194. There aren't any cans on the table.
There isn't any milk in the glass.
There aren't any eggs in the frying pan.
There isn't any ice cream in the dish.
There aren't any apples in the refrigerator. Page 195.
Is there any trash in the wastebasket?
Yes, there's some.
Is there any ink in the pen?
Yes, there's some.
Is there any mail for the secretary?
Yes, there's some.
Are there any letters for the manager?
Yes, there are some.
Are there any rubber bands on the desk?
Yes, there are some. Page 196. Is there any paper in the drawer?
No, there isn't any.
Are there any staples in the stapler?
No, there aren't any.
Are there any messages for her?
No, there aren't any.
Are there any telephone calls for him?
No, there aren't any.
Are there any pencils in the pencil holder?
No, there aren't any.
Page 197.
Are there 14 eggs in a dozen?
No, there aren't.
How many eggs are there in a dozen?
There are 12.
How many pounds are there in a kilo?
There are 2.2.
How many feet are there in a yard?
There are 3.
How many quarts are there in a gallon?
There are 4.
How many meters are there in a kilometer?
There are 1,000. Page 198. How many sticks of butter are there in a package?
There are 4.
How many ounces are there in a pound?
There are 16.
How many inches are there to a foot?
There are 12.
How many liters are there in a gallon?
There are 3.7 liters in a gallon.
How many centimeters are there in a meter?
There are 100.
Page 199.
How many cans are there on the shelf?
There are 5.
How many eggs are there in the basket?
There are 6.
How many ants are there on the tablecloth?
There are 3.
How many bottles of beer are there in the cooler?
There are 10.
How many rubber bands are there on the desk?
There are 4. Page 200. How many boxes are there on the shelf?
There aren't any.
How many apples are there in the bowl?
There are 3.
How many bees are there near the food?
There are 2.
How many bags of charcoal are there near the grill?
There are 2.
How many pencils are there in the pencil holder?
There aren't any.
Page 201.
1 times 10 are 10.
2 times 10 are 20.
3 times 10 are 30.
4 times 10 are 40.
5 times 10 are 50.
Page 202.
6 times 10 are 60.
7 times 10 are 70.
8 times 10 are 80.
9 times 10 are 90.
10 times 10 are 100. Module 8.
Page 203.
I put sugar in my coffee.
You put butter on toast.
He put salt on eggs.
She put syrup on hotcakes.
We put mustard on hamburgers.
Page 204.
She puts lemon in the tea.
She puts mayonnaise on sandwiches.
He puts pepper on steaks.
He puts dressing on a salad.
They put catsup on French fries.